Hey friends, it's Kimberly Faye Greenberg with your tip for today to create some momentum in your career for free. Okay, so I talk a lot about branding. It's one of my favorite things to do with my clients. It also, I find, is the most helpful thing in order to create momentum in your career, in cover letters, when you're submitting on the casting websites, when you're describing yourself as an interview, when you're picking your audition materials, when you're thinking about your clothes and what you're wearing to auditions, and the list goes on and on and on. Again, if you haven't heard my spiel before, branding is basically a character description of you, your essence, and what you bring into an audition room. It's what separates you from everybody else who looks like you and who is in the same age bracket. So basically, for instance, if an agent or a manager or a casting director, they're getting a picture and resume and your credits, and while a picture can show personality, they still aren't getting a well-rounded view of who you might be. So for instance, if there's two pictures of women, one being me and one being another brunette Caucasian woman, the pictures might be eerily similar, and they're not going to be able to tell one person apart from what the other person brings to the table unless you give them a branding statement, which kind of gives a little bit more insight into your personality and the vibe and essence you bring into an audition room. So for instance, my branding, and again, some of you have heard it before, is I'm a sassy, brassy New York broad. All right, so there you go. And that way, that's very unique to me. And when you match that with my picture, you get a sort of 360 view of who I am. So today I thought I would give you a couple of steps that I give my clients on how you can brand, okay? So here's 4 easy steps that you can do on your own to come up with your fantastic branding statement. And of course, if you ever want help from me, you can always reach out, okay? So here we go. So the first thing you wanna do is there are thousands of adjectives in the English language. So please, or in any language, for instance. So list all the adjectives that describe you. All right, so that's your number 1 tip. List all the adjectives that describe you. Then, in addition to that list, you want to think about all the roles that you can play right now and what are some character traits in those roles, and you want to create a list of those adjectives, and you want to add those to your list, and you should start to see some adjectives will be eerily creeping up again and again and again, and that should like ring out a nice bell in your head and in your ear saying, oh wait, that looks like maybe an adjective I might want to use because it fits the characters that I play and it fits me as a human. Then the next thing you want to do is think of actor or actresses who are very similar to you, who play roles that are similar to you, and think of those adjectives that describe these humans and write them out. And do any of them seem eerily similar to the ones you've already put on your list? That should be a big flag of like, wow, those are adjectives that I could be using in my branding statement. Then what you want to do is compare all those adjectives and pick out the strongest ones that describe you, ensuring that no adjective is repeating itself. So sometimes we have adjectives that can potentially mean the same thing. So you want to use whichever is the strongest adjective and create a great pitch that describes you. For instance, again, mine is I'm a sassy, brassy New York broad. All right. And voila, you have a branding statement that describes you. All right. So again, I hope that helps you create your branding statement. If you want more specific help, reach out. Meanwhile, if you want to learn how to then use and put this branding statement to work in your cover letters, in your pitch on the casting websites, when you're doing your submissions, please check out my $5 Zoom class that I'm going to be teaching 3 different sessions next week for $5. And basically, I'm going to be teaching you how to use that branding statement and delving a little bit more into the uses of a branding statement in order to help sell you as an actor in the class next week. But I'll be teaching you how to use that in your cover letter to work to your advantage in your pitch on the casting websites as well, to ensure that you are showcasing your unique you looking like the proactive actor that you are, looking like you know where you fit in this business, and really truly standing out amongst the actors who also are similar to you in look, so that you get the audition when there is something that you are absolutely totally right for. Okay, so if you want to look more about that class next week, make sure to click on the link in the post, and I will see you tomorrow with a new tip. And please remember to follow me at The Broadway Expert on Instagram or here on Facebook, where this post originates, at KFG, the Performing Arts Fairy Godmother Consultant. And then also give me a shout out if you have a question, or DM me your questions so that I can answer them in a future post. All right? Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Adios.